Hello and welcome to another episode of Top Deck, the series where we take a look at some of the UK's strangest deck lists. So today we have on Harry with the weather painters that he took to the Sheffield Regional. He ended up actually getting 25th place, I believe, and earning his invite through handouts here. So let's go through this very interesting list. So Triple Snow, Triple Sun, and Triple Thunder, all the key monsters. Then Triple Demise, 1 D-Fissure, 2 Desires, 3 Duality, 1 Rainy Canvas, 3 Snowy Canvas, 3 Goes and Match. Pretty interesting actually, because these are all different attributes. Then 2 Heavy Storm Duster, 1 Order, 1 Macro, 3 Rivalry, 1 Skill Drain, 3 Strike, 3 Thundery Canvas, which I believe is the way that you get to pop stuff. Battle an opponent's monster, you can banish the card, return. Oh, you return stuff to the hand with this, okay? And then 1 Waking the Dragon. So for the extra deck, we have a Mega Fleet, Mud Dragon, Drago Stapelia, 1 Venom Fusion, Dante, Tomahawk, Rongo, Ultimate Falcon, Curious, 1 Phantom Quartz, Electromite, Isolde, Summon Stalk, Weather Painter Rainbow, and a Trisbana. For the side deck, Triple Ash, Triple Ghost Reaper, Double Cyber Dragon, 1 Super Poly, Triple Twin, and Triple Xyz Encore to deal with those Rongo issues. So that is it for the list itself. A little bit more unusual given that we've never really had weather painters on before, but let's get the siding strategy next. So for siding for this, we've got the siding versus the rounds that you played and a few other things. So against Pendulum Magicians, no changes. Oh no, wait, hold on. Every single time he goes first, he reverted the deck back to the original main deck, because the side deck is always just going second cards. So yeah, you won't see any changes here for going first. But for going second, putting in the Ashes, Reapers, and Cyber Dragons against Pendulum Magicians, taking out some Gozens, the Imperial Order, Rainy, Macro, which doesn't really do a lot, the D-Fissure and the Duality, 1 Duality there. For Cyber Dragons, putting in the Cyber Dragons is always a great way to answer all of their big monsters. The Ashes too, and taking a Twister into the main deck. I believe that's because they have a pretty useful trap at the moment. Taking out Rivalries and Gozens, which obviously do nothing there. For Thunder Dragons, putting in Super Poly and 2 Twisters. Thinking that the opponent sided his own Twisters in order to deal with the back row that the Weatheries have, so because you'll be going second, you can pop their Twisters and then you can set your own back row and carry on from there. Taking out the Rivalries here, obviously also not doing a lot. For BA, putting in the Reapers, just deal with that Dante, taking out the Order and the 2 Dusters. For Dark Warrior, putting in the Reapers and the Ash Blossoms, taking out the 1 Weather Painter Sun, 1 Demise, 2 Dusters, which obviously don't do really anything here, and 1 Duality. For Prankids, 2 Cyber Dragons come in, 2 Heavy Storm Dusters go out. Pretty standard, you know, you can just fuse away their monsters and carry on with your plays. For Draco, in come the Twisters to deal with the back row, and out come the Rivalries, because they're not going to be doing anything unless they're playing the Amano or the Border or something and have that set up already. For Sky Striker finally, putting in the Ash Blossoms and the Twisters and taking out Dualities and the Heavy Storm Dusters when going second. A couple of comments on here. He says that the deck was built to beat Strikers because he thought that they would be really highly represented. All of the back row except Strike is chainable, so if they search waves and in case they search waves, and all of the monsters banish themselves anyway, so you can dodge around the Afterburners and Anchor, and they can't kill you through your Floodgates regardless. The Rainy bounces the back row, which lets you wreck pretty much everything that they set with multi-roll, as it all gets banished instead of going back to the hand. So pretty solid strategy for just taking out all of the Sky Striker players from this event. As for the rounds that he actually played, did he go up against Sky Strikers? So round 1, he went up against Pendulum Magicians and lost this 1-2. Round 2 against Cyber Dragons, he went 1-1. Round 3 against Thunder Dragons, he went 2-0. Round 4 against BA, he went 2-1. Against Dark Warrior in round 5, he went 2-0. Round 6 against Prankids, he went 2-0. Round 7 against Draco, this is Dom, who came 6th. And you can see his deck profile on the channel. Unfortunately, he went 1-2 here and took another loss. And then against Sky Strikers, he did come out on top, going 2-0 here. So I asked him how the event was, and he said the whole day was really good. He only drew an unplayable hand once throughout the entire day. Just a shame that he didn't play against Sky Striker very much, as it's easily one of the best matchups that you have. Then why did he decide to play Weather Painters? A few weeks prior, he was testing a Demise version for fun, and he found that it was basically just a bonus Draco, but no one really knows what the cards do, so he always gets the edge by playing this deck. It is kind of an oddball in that it's never been on the series before, so I wanted to just ask for the vague tactics associated with it to just describe them to you guys. And the engine itself is fairly small, to be honest. It searches in both players' turns because of your spells, I believe, and the monsters are really hard to remove as they come back every standby phase. Then in terms of the absolutely key cards, Snow and any Weather Painter with a continuous spell, those kinds of things are both full combos, so opening that is essential, whilst also drawing a Floodgate kind of slows down the opponent and allows you to carry on playing. Then why did he decide to play Gozen in a deck with conflicting attributes, as I've already mentioned, but he says the Snowy Canvas lets you search any Weather Painter, so whenever he drew Gozen, he just searched the Light Painter, and essentially just played Thunder Control from there. The deck permits you to play stuff like the Macro and the D-Fissure, which seems kind of amazing in the modern format, so I wanted to know if they actually worked as well as he hoped. But he says that the only time he drew either was against BA, but that particular scenario is always going to be really solid for him. The one Waking the Dragon does seem like it's kind of just a meme in here, but to be honest, he says you can summon the Weather Painter Link Monster, which makes all of your painters into Omni Negates that come back. But unfortunately the vendors didn't seem to stock those cards, so he couldn't really go from there. However, the Waking is also to debate people because the columns matter quite a lot, and the trap is really annoying. So you can search the trap, set the Waking where he would normally set the trap, and then people will go to pop it. As for the hardest and easiest matchups, the easiest was Striker by far, he says. Everything but Strike, Flips, Face Up to dodge waves, and all of the monsters can play Tag Out to dodge burners and Anchor, that kind of thing. The hardest matchup was probably against Dom, who was playing Draco. The Inspector border completely shuts down the deck. As for changes that he would make to the list, he'd take out the Imperial Order because the card was complete garbage all day. It only negated a Second's Light, and they turned off the Snowy Canvas anyway, which is kind of integral to the deck. As for shoutouts that he wants to make, shoutouts to the Daycare, and also congratulations to Dom and Georgia on getting engaged. So thanks very much for bringing on this list, Harry. Great to see Weather Painters finally on the channel, and kind of cool that you can just trash things like Strikers so very easily with this kind of deck. It'd be great to see what kind of random stuff comes up in the future, and hopefully we'll see you guys again. Thanks for watching this episode of Top Deck. If you have any comments or suggestions that you would like to make, leave them in the comment section down below. Check out the description for details of how you can get involved in this series. You can enter by voice interview, or instead you could just send all of your information over Facebook Messenger. Anything like that will be absolutely fine. If you want to see anything in particular from the upcoming series, then be sure to get in touch, and I'll see you guys in the next video.